the other day. I know that he just remodeled his bathroom. This really cool black and red scheme. There's pictures up there on Twitter. You should look for it.
Interesting, and it looks like we have some interesting sprite choices to start us out. All right, so as we're heading to the escape sequence, as we find the blue mail right off the bat, what are you hoping to find as our uncle item today?
I think we're getting Fire Rod here.
I've always been a big fan of the Cane of Samaria, just because of just how interesting that item is. We already have a map check there. I saw a Crystal Eastern Palace, and not a whole lot more. Blue Pendant and Desert, actually. I did not see Tower of Hera, even on the restream.
I think it was a crystal.
Excellent. So it should be an interesting light roll. Here we go into our first visit to the Ganon through the Uncle Item to find the Cane of Burna.
That's going to be interesting. They really got to make sure they are keeping track of their magic meter on here. There's two magic pots down here in the pots, and
well then, just get a full magic decanter right off the bat. So, less worries for Trinex, but SHGTD going ahead and making through theirs. So far, even on magic, so we will have to try to farm ourselves a bomb along the way, we would hope. I have to keep track of that magic use. The Cane of Burna does fighter sword damage on the spark.
Yeah, not only that, it pushes enemies upwards. So it works really well in like this first blue guard room. But after that, you really got to make sure that you're positioning yourself correctly.
And positioning is key if you want to maximize your damage output and minimize your magic use.
So you'll see here the blue guard will get shoved directly to the top of the room as soon as they activate.
Interesting, I didn't actually notice that in the previous times that I've seen the Cane of Burna use, or in my own personal play. So now the match really becomes a guessing game of how much magic do I want to use to try to farm bombs. Good thing to note that they will have to that they can use the pots in the ball and chain guard room to take him out. Just two pot throws and knock him down, as opposed to having to burn through your magic.
Yeah, they'll probably end up using the harmless hallway or not harmless hallway, the rat and snake hallway. Oh, and there's the mirror. I'm going to save some time on this escape. As soon as they kill the ball and chain guard, I'm going to mirror directly back to the front of the Hyrule Castle.
Does that work with Zelda? I can't remember.
Well, I think so, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm almost positive it does.
Hey, you know a lot more than I do, and we have confirmations in chat that we should be good on that. Tridex burning up their first, both of them having to burn up their first pot on the green guard, just wouldn't leave them alone. Here goes almost simultaneous throws to knock down the ball and chain guard. We're going to get locked into Zelda's cell and rewarded with just the map, so we're moving on. One gaze into the magic mirror moves us up into the front side, and we are on our way to the back.
So yeah, if you have not seen one of these races before, there are going to be a couple chests here in the back of Escape that, unless our racers are able to find bombs, they will not be able to access again until they get, they would have to go all the way back through the castle, or they get the regular power gloves.
Yeah, so as soon as you find your first lift upgrade, it gives you access to them. Also to note, since we are in standard mode, even though we don't have the lamp, we get a free light cone. SHGTG, almost out of magic, trying to us a little bit extra. Doesn't get a bomb, but does get rewarded with 40 rupees, so he'll have money for them when they walk out, but doesn't matter about farming bombs, because they're about to get 3 free ones in the dark chest.
Both of these racers are relieved to see that. This is a randomizer race, so if you all haven't noticed yet, anybody new to this, we are mixing up the items in here. The racers are still going to have to collect all 7 crystals and defeat Ganon. However, those crystals are going to be randomized in dungeons. You'll have crystals in the light world, pendants in the dark world. Not only that, the items locations are going to be mixed up as well. So you'll be able to go into the dark world at 20 minutes if possible. It's more like a logic puzzle, really, in this game.
And Trinex, unfortunately, having issues fighting the true hardest boss of this game, the Key Rat, eluded all his magic use. Now he's trying to chase him down with a bomb, finally gets him, but he can't get into the back of the escape, and I didn't see what it was. But it must not have been anything too huge, because chat wasn't screaming at me about it.
I
So
believe it was just rupees and heart piece. So I mean, it comes in handy. That 300 rupees will come in very useful when it comes time to go see Zora. But both of our racers getting out at about 518.
just about standard for you, because you save about 45 seconds of being able to mirror out of the first part of the escape sequence. So now it becomes a matter of where are we going to first, right out the gate. And both of our runners almost in sync, walking to the west side of the light world. We'll see if they just head straight into the woods, or one looks like Trinex may be working his way toward a check of the lumberjack ledge. SAGTG is into the Lost Woods already. Trinex going ahead and checking that tree pole, getting a full magic decanter, so he's gonna not have to worry about combat for a little while anyway. The Hoarder Crab at getting more magic refills.
Trinex is hoping to get bombs from either the bush crab or the tree pole.
It's sadly not rewarded, and he's got only 40 rupees. You know, we did find a bottle in the Thieves' Grotto, and SAGT is also going to get their full magic decanters from the tree pole.
And there's our first sword in the mushroom spot. Very, very nice to have early, especially when they head down into Mini Moldorm Cave. That is not something you want to do with just bombs and a can of burnout.
Absolutely, and it's just, I guess you can almost call it French vanilla, as it's growing in just the wrong place in the Lost Woods for one of our 4 swords.
GTG is going to give us our first look at Kakariko Village. There is a bevy of items down here. We are bound to find something useful here. 17 items, I believe, overall in Kakariko.
I believe that's the right number, of just a large plethora of checks. SAGTG having the bomb as they're walking in to do that front side. Trinex did manage to pick up a bomb while he was in the Lost Woods, so he'll be able to clear this check out pretty easily. So far, just a lot of love in there, and 3 bombs, which Trinex will be relieved to see, as well as SAGTG, because they'll have enough bombs to finish the rest of Kakariko Village.
Not only that, they ended up getting the bottle in the Thieves' Hideout in the woods, so they will be able to check Bottle Kit as well.
Yep, and we find the Bloomerang, so we have something to help enemies hold still as they chase him down with the Cane of Burna.
Yeah, we don't know what that stun prize is, so that could be something very, very nice for them.
All I know is that I'm feeling kind of blue, dub-a-dee, dub-a-die. We're dropping into the well on SAGTG's side. And there's a heart container. Into the back of the well. That is the Cane of Samaria, breaking up our blue theme for that red cane. Speaking of, I guess the theme switching to red is we can get the magical boomerang, as well as our first lift upgrade. The power glove, it's so bad, and we got ourselves a little bit of a stack of Rico on the start here.
Yeah, this is looking very nice for our racers. That power glove is going to... That is one of the items that is absolutely necessary to have early in the game. You don't want to have to get into Aghanim to get your lift upgrades. And there's the fire rod.
What a start to Kakariko Village.
Big ups to GGG for freeing that chicken. I appreciate it.
Yep, it's just a little bit of fried chicken there with the fire rod. The bottle vendor giving us a piece of heart, as well as the sick kid. Moving on down to the back of the pub. We'll see what item is hanging out there, and there's a chicken under that pot, and 20 rupees.
Thank you, Trinex.
Alright, chickens released indeed. We're heading in toward the library. Let's just see what the boots are locking so far. Now, it may not be a boots required seed as yet. That's just a heart container up there, as we have the blue pendant down in Desert Palace. So we don't know if we're going to need those boots quite yet. But of course, if you're these runners, you really want to see them. Our race game prize is a big 20, so we're going to head on out. SATTD getting that save and quit. They're going to Sanctuary with their Titan's Mitts. They're probably going to knock out the back of Escape. excuse me, their power glove.
It looks like our racers are having a really good start here. Oh, excuse me. I admit I was really hoping for something awful here for my friends, but can't say that we're seeing that today.
But SATGD is going ahead and swerving me, and they're going to go ahead and sequence break their way up to Death Mountain. Now, the Titan Smiths does allow them to hold the boulder, but without the lamp, the rescue of the old man is out of logic. Fun fact, if you die in here after picking up the old man, you're stuck in here until you get him out.
Yeah, no, he does have the mirror. He does have the fire rod. He's going to be able to finish off Hera.
Yeah, he definitely has access to go straight up the mountain. Trinex is going ahead and heading to the back of Escape because I got my runners backwards. He's the one that needed to go back to this. Gonna get rewarded with his bevy of money, and the old man gives us a tip of $50 for helping him out of the cave. Very generous today. SAGGD is climbing the mountain. Trinex heading down to the south shore. See what they find. Taking a look at Spectacle Rock Ledge. That's lots of rupees in this early game. Hey, it must be the money. I do appreciate that bunny sprite, as we have 5-6 crystals on Skull Woods and Misery Mire, the red pendant in Thieves Town, and I believe that green pendant may have been in the Palace of Darkness.
Got 50 rupees in the dam access. GGG is heading into Tower of Hera.
Does have fire access, so they'll be able to clear this no matter how the key layout falls. First heading on your system map. We're out. Sorry.
GGG did not check Spectacle Rock. He is going to be doing that last, unless he finds Shot or Hammer over here.
And there's an early big key, so no coffee break required as of yet. Walks up to the door remembering, oh wait, I don't have the key. And here we have a mini Moldorm cave on for Trinex. Fighter sword in hand, this won't be too difficult. Making use of that bloomerang he picked up early to grab those 20 rupees. Now we'll see what 5 items are hiding in the back of this cave. Whoa! We have a hammer, a heart container, a piece of heart, 3 bombs, and 20 rupees. We've got hammer time early on for Trinex. SAGTG is up the mountain. He wish he was... You can only wish if you were at SAGTG you found that hammer first in the South Shore before making that mountain climb.
I'm downright amazed at what you can destroy with just a hammer.
And the shovel is in Hookshot Cave. Interesting bit of information to have, I suppose. As well as cash being held by someone friendly being the previous hint, and we get the Arrow of Destiny, so that's one less unique item to troll our runners at this point. Trinex is going to make the perilous journey up to Ice Rod Cave, watching out for the crab army of the South Shore, doing 2 hearts of damage per hit. Looks like he's opened up the money farm. He may be setting himself up for a early fake flipper to Zora. He's only 50 rupees away. And there's the Ether Medallion as SAGTD is making their navigating the Moldorm fight here. Has to be careful with his damage numbers. He may be opening himself up for Enrage mode.
I mean, he doesn't really have many other options with just the sword.
And gets rewarded with a visit to the basement. But that's our first crystal of the game, 14 minutes in, as Trinex is heading over to the Eastern Palace area, bolt coin and hammer in hand. And chat going ahead and correcting me because I missed the items. There's only the compass down below, so we're not going to worry about that so much. Alright, we're walking into Susser Hasahala's closet, and we find out that the green pendant is confirmed in the Palace of Darkness. Definitely not a feels good one, as there's a lot of items locked away behind that green pendant. And that old man is loaded.
Astroloshla is the 1%.
Indeed, we get our hint tile, and it's not really a hint. So it looks like Trinex is going to make their way into the Eastern Palace dip. And SHETG is now going to make their way across the South Shore, most likely. They'll find their hammer in the Mini Moldorm Cave and wish they had went there first.
Makes me think that we're going to be seeing a lamp here in Eastern Palace.
It's got to be the lamp or the flute somewhere along this line to put that mountain into logic. Go ahead and clipping that block out of the way, and then I can't help but notice just how rich of a seed this is early. Just about 1,800 rupees between our two runners, and here we are 16 minutes in. All the money we found early, so that's one thing we're definitely not worrying about. Trinex clearing their way through Eastern SAGTG, making their trek along the South Shore. So, Virtua Cat, where do you think our progression is going to lie that put that mountain into logic?
Well, I mean, they need either the lamp or the flute, but here's the thing. Trinex has put the hammer of the glove. If he finds the moon pearl, that puts Dark World into logic.
True, but we still have to find our way up to the mountain. To find that, or actually no, that's below the mountain. Pardon me. I'll remember how things work eventually. We'll see where our Dark World logic lies here. Another chest, just the big key, so we're gonna keep checking. A unique item is in Thieves Town. A little bit of nice information, though we are definitely going to go through there.
Yeah, Thieves Town isn't necessarily a dungeon that you can really save a lot of time by skipping things in. You're going to check those first 4 chests because the big key has to be in there. You have to go down to the basement.
Alright, so looking here, that's the end of the logical Eastern Palace chests for Trinex. So right now we're looking at Zora and Agina, I believe, is all that's left in logic to be holding item our Moon Pearl or something that puts us somewhere. We will see what SHETG finds on the west side of the east side of Death Mountain. So I was asking in chat, since this is week 1 of the Randomizer League, it is a standard normal mode randomized swords defeat Ganon Seed. GTG is going to make their way into the long walk known as Spiral Cave. Final check yields a heart container for Trinex, and he's out.
Very, very precarious there for him, having to do that invisibility skip with just heart and a half, it looked like. I think Trinex is on his way over to Agina.
Definitely, that's the start, and then they could use perhaps a fake flipper to make their way up to Zora afterward. Because those are the only 2 checks left in logic. Because everything that SHGTG is doing, as far as we know, is out of logic, though we pretty much discern that something's putting them in some direction. Whether it'll be to the mountain or into Dark World, that's yet to be seen. Trinex making the walk over to the desert ledge will be rewarded with seeing that there's a heart container up there as we find a piece of heart and another piece of heart in the first part of the Paradox Cave for GTG.
GTG's got 5 checks here in Mini Moldorm Cave Part 2, Paradox Cave.
Mini Moldorm 2, Paradox Boogaloo. And unfortunately, there's no progression here for a GTG, and that's the Moon Pearl held by the Desert Hermit. Trinex is off to the Dark World. I just can't help but notice on GTG's side, they're already at 11 heart containers, and here we are almost 20 minutes in.
All right, Chad, get your guesses in fast. Out of 10, what are we going to see here in Hype Cave?
But Trinex definitely living up to his team's name. That's two Pearl, two Furious. That's the first to find the Moon Pearl, and the access to the Dark World. Hype Cave, what you got?
I would be furious if I found the Pearl at Aguna.
As GGG is going to go ahead and take the Eastern dive, wanting to avoid that long walk to Agina. Starting us out with $50 in the Hype Cave. Carrying one on with the Flute, the Piece of Heart, 3 bombs, and the Titan's Mitts.
So that's a 10 out of 10 right there.
I'm gonna hold it a 9. Throw a sword or something else in there, and we're stacked.
I call it Ty Dillinger. That's a perfect 10.
I wish I understood your reference, but Trinex trying to decide with all the world available to them, where do they want to go next? It looks like they're heading toward the Village of Outcasts. They can go ahead and check Cave 45 out here, do the digging game and Stumpy, and then make their way up through picking up Jeremiah, Hammer Pegs. I mean, there's just so many checks available for Trinex right now.
I mean, having the mirror at this point is really nice for him.
It's just there's basically no part of the overworld that is not available to him now. All he has to do is go activate that flute in the village, and that's the access to the mire area, and it's also our logical access to the mountain. So far, routing-wise, most things are coming out Trinex, but not to fault SHETG, he made the gamble on the sequence break, didn't pay off quite yet. I'll have a few less things to do later on, but we'll see how things really shake out. We are only 22 minutes in, so there is a lot to see.
Shovel game. Time for Trinex, who was hurting for money earlier in the game, and finding a 5 rupee drop on the second dig.
5% cash back on your digging game. Deals from Alec Baldwin. Alright, Trinex making their way up to... Probably going to pick up Jeremiah along the way into the Village of Outcasts. DTG going ahead and making their Eastern Palace checks and being disappointed. Oh boy, a unique item in Thieves Town. I'm definitely not going there anyway since it's a crystal.
Just 10 rupees there in the first chest of Village of Outcast. Trying to drop off the frog first before making his way into Thieves Town.
Long stick-like rupees are the most dangerous ever. But first, it's time to listen to some Hammer Pegs. A little bit of ASMR for you Zelda fans. So satisfying, but not as satisfying as it is with the boots. And just $50, and he's already loaded, so I don't need that petty cash. Well, Jeremiah was a blacksmith. He could possibly be a friend of ours. What kind of craftsman do we have today? What are your bets?
A cobbler.
Wouldn't that be nice? Instead, we have a shield mason. Going to leave that purple chest for now. He'll come back for that later.
It's like GGG is on their way over to Agina, going to get his Moon Pearl.
And then hopefully they'll head straight to Hype Cave, and open up the whole world for them, as in the Sea House we have the Master Sword for Trinex. Walking past the entrance of Thieves Town for now, I'm going to go ahead and take care of the chess game first. And getting a bomb and $20. So it looks like we're going to go ahead into Thieves Town now on Trinex side and find out what that hinted at unique item is. And we know it's not the single arrow now.
But this is a red pendant, so I do not know if Trinex is going to mirror out as soon as he finds that item or not.
See how this goes. And it never feels good to find a pendant Thieves Town. It's such an easy dungeon to have that be the... Oh, that's the pendant? Ugh. And there's a unique item in the Bombos medallion. But I think they're going to continue on, at least check the first 4. If not, just dive the whole thing. We'll see how they're feeling. So far, our hint system not coming up too gangbusters as of yet. Just a heart container here, so one more chest to be opened on the front side. We'll see what Trinex does next. Gets the red mail and he's peacing out.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense right there. You found 3 of the items there in the front. Play the odds, hope that 4th item isn't like the bow or the hook shot.
But with the allure of Pendant Thieves Town, you never know what it's going to be. GTG is making their way into the Dark World from the top side, electing not to go to Thieves Town quite yet, but they've got a completable red crystal Skull Woods in front of them, and Trinex is just in there a little bit ahead of them through a different door. And there's our first unique item, the Magic Powder, so our Magic Bat is 100% in logic now. Those asking in chat, yes, Trinex is indeed a pokey for his sprite, while SHETG is rocking the Sailor Moon.
The link to the past approved term is Hoku Boku.
Indeed, you are right.
One of the few enemy names I actually know the name of.
But who can forget the Gubdos, or the Stelfos, or the Bowery, or the Traps?
Hoku Boku is just a fun word to say. I think that was the last item in Skull Woods. I think Trinex just found some rupees.
Alright, well, definitely appreciate a fast Skull Woods here. It's a big, scary, angry pink pokey there. Alright, and Trinex heading into the back of Skull Woods now. DJG just behind them. The one thing I will notice is the health difference. Trinex coming in on just 2 hearts, while GTG is on a full bevy, so he's going to go ahead and grab some of these hearts in here, while GTG is probably going to take the fast route. Go ahead and burn down the Gibdos here. They're slinging fire every which way. Alright, so we should have almost synced fights of the Mothra here. Or Mothra, I don't know. It's definitely Mothra, but I prefer Mothra. Alright, so we have Trinex using their Master Sword, and since GTG doesn't have that, they're going for Hammer Strats.
Gotta keep them off the spikes. And GTG takes down the Moth. Still wish BugNet worked on Mothula, but we'll see that patched in the future. Thanks in advance.
Wouldn't that be something? And we have the compass off there, and that's almost synchronized fanfare. GTG coming in that fight just a little bit faster.
It's crystal number 2 for GTG and crystal number 1 for Trinex.
Trinex will have to clear through most of the mountain on their way, but they won't. They will be able to do it in 1 trip instead of 2 that GTG did, as well as being able to route in the dark side of the mountain as well. Whenever they feel fit, Trinex has save and quit out of there, and let's see where they're heading to next. While GTG is probably making their way down to the Village of Outcasts. Phil's asking in chat that unique item in Thieves Town was the Bombos medallion.
Trinex didn't mirror out in Thieves Town to activate his flute. Gonna use about an extra 30 to 45 seconds here walking back over to Kakariko.
Alright, so get your salutes up in chat. We're going to serenade us a swag duck. GGG checked the bumper ledge, but I missed what it was.
The grouse is out of the house, the duck is amok, the goose is loose, and the bird is flying away. It's the duck.
Alright, Trinex is up in the air, and where they're going to head to next, that's the flute to 6. They're going to check out the Mire area and take care and see if... Maybe see the Dip Desert Palace. We'll see. Now we have the Ether Medallion that will open up Mire. Both of our runners will have that at some point. So far, we get ourselves a piece of heart and the Book of Mudora in Mire Shed. The key for the door just under the mat. Unfortunately, though, both of the runners have already been through Skull Woods, so I don't know if we're going to get a pedestal check anywhere in the near future. But let's just look at the pendant layout. What could our pedestal be holding on to at this point that would be of note?
It could be a Quake medallion. Oh god, it could be flippers.
Flippers, Ice Rod, the Hook Shot. Flippers, Ice Rod, or Hook Shot are the ones that are jumping out to me. And I can't decide which of those three options is the more painful. And we're going to see that we are indeed boots locked in the Desert Palace for Trinex. A bow and a map. Oh, we know where the bow is. It's in Misery Mire.
They know where it is, but they can't get it until they find a hook shot or a pair of boots.
And there we have a very big hint here. So we definitely need to go to the Firelock side. Trinex unable to progress here in Misery Mire. They're going to wish that they had the boots of the hook shot so they could go grab a bow, but it's not to be. Alright, Trinex is making their way through the dark, going to go ahead and grab their old man, and they're going to start their mountain climb. GGG is going to go ahead and strike the earth a few times, while our runners are going through some recursive checks. If you're not already giving them a follow, I suggest you definitely do so. They're putting themselves out there for your entertainment and mine, and this is going to be a nice, fun randomizer league for us for the next 6 weeks, so show them a little bit of support with that Twitch follow.
GGG is going to be getting his flute here soon when he makes his way down to Hype Cave.
Flute and Titan's Mitts will feel good when they get there. And it's unfortunate that because of the way they routed it, though they're heading down towards it, they won't be able to take care of the purple chest turn-in because they had to get the mitts first from the Hype Cave side. So now, for those trying to hypothesize in chat if the hook shot could be on pedestal, it definitely still can be. The boots do give you logical access into Misery Mire via bonking. So the boots could be out there somewhere to give you access into Mire to get the bow so you could clear pod. And the Cane of Burna is on your uncle. Well, isn't that a hint in this standard mode seed?
Thanks, Yat.
I cannot think of that. That is one of the more head scratching what face type hints to get off. It's like, oh, thank you. I literally had to make that check.
That's Randomizer.
Who else but Randomizer? For those asking in chat, the logic does account for bonking into Mire. The reason being that the refill room and Ganon's tower, the only way to reach it is via bonking over the pit. So it was determined to be a developer-intended trick, because that is the only way that you can reach that refill room on the tower climb.
Well, Trinix is going to check to see what's over here on the tablet. That's new and exciting. And he's going to walk away with the Quake Medallion. So what that tells me is that I don't think that Turtle Rock is going to be Quake.
For those numismatist types, you're going to be happy. We have all 3 coins, and that's I call that a French vanilla Quake Medallion because it's on a tablet, just the wrong one. Right now, wait, the Quake Medallion is from the Catfish, right?
Yeah, Quake is on Catfish. That is Ether tablet, and Bombos tablet is down in the desert.
Some cash held by someone friendly. Thanks, game. I wonder if I know it doesn't actually apply to Sahasrara directly, unless that's the green pendant turn-in, but he definitely had some cash. And the duck is a mug for GTG. Looks like they're heading down to 8. GTG, what are you up to?
He never checked the Ice Rod Cave.
Aha.
So he's going to get his Ether Medallion here.
And they'll definitely need that to get access to Misery Mire, where our bow is hiding. Alright, Trinex setting up the bomb jump there. Well executed to be rewarded with the Arrow of Destiny. It is the ultimate arrow of Ultimate Destiny. GGG waits for their duck, and where are they heading to next? They're back down to 8 again. Are we looking at a fake flipper?
Yeah, we're going to see the Waterfall Cave and Zora. That cool dude.
Well, King Zora has been in Logic for quite a while now. Trinex with a hammer in hand, gonna go ahead and hammer out their differences with our pal Moldorm. Down he goes. Blink and you missed that. That'll be crystal number 2 for Trinex, and here we have the waterfall fairy there, 3 bombs and 10 arrows.
Just some expendable items there. Nothing important quite yet, but GTG is going to get a look at the Zora ledge as well. So named because it's a ledge with an item on it that occurs in the Zora area, and it is just bombs as well.
Alright, so what is the king of all scams going to be holding on to today? I'm guessing 3 artisanal bombs. What you got?
He's got the boots.
I definitely say that is a fair price for boots, but we will see what we have here, and it is a 10% discount, a 10% rebate.
Just like I said.
A 10% rebate. 10% cash back, that'd be a great credit card, not so much for King Zora. Alright, the long walk through Spiral Cave for Trinex to yield a whole lot of meh. GTG is once again setting up the fake flipper. They're going to go check the hobo, I believe.
Yeah, there wasn't really much of anything over on Light World Death Mountain, but Trinex is going to get a chance to check Dark World Death Mountain while he's here.
Oh.
And who knows, we may have something in Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, only Super Bunny Cave available to them as now, unless they find the hookshot or boots inside. So right now, taking a stock of the items we have, I mean, what can we do right now? We can clear a Red Pendant Thieves Town. And, Yeah.
That's
Red
gross.
and Thieves down.
Super Bunny hopefully has something. But like I'm enjoying seeing them struggle. I won't lie. I've played enough of GGG Seeds that I'm happy to see him anguish.
We will see where it goes here. GTG is going into Ice Palace. Which is, as of now, out of sequence. Interesting choice by GTG here. A bottle and some cash requires a big red bomb, so we're not going to see that red bomb today. No Pyramid Fairy for us today.
This Ice Palace is a choice, and I am living for it.
It is quite the interesting gamble to sequence break Ice Palace without the hook shot. So you're going to do some interesting bit of routing and get through. Does have access to the Cane of Samaria. Go ahead and
All
make
right.
it.
Wait, here's Super Bunny. What has Super Bunny got for us?
$20. And 20. So, Red Pendant Thieves down, anyone?
Oh,
That
trying
last
to actually
item?
deserve it.
That last item hidden in the back somewhere?
There's also Purple Chest.
Yeah, Purple Chest and the last item of Thieves Town are the only things I see remaining in logic at this moment.
They
Looks
can
like
do some
trying
of the front of pod. They can do Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah.
But
Yep, Spike. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yep, Spike Cave. The Mad Batter is also out there in logic. Looks like Trinex is at least going to crack Turtle Rock while we're up there and check the hint. And the Bombos tablet. So,
he can make a decent amount of the way into TR. He's got the fire rod. He's got the red can.
I mean, there's lots of checks available to us. They all don't feel good. Pretty much everything that's available to us in logic is setting itself up for a double dip. Checking the hint tile here to find out a piece of heart is a Mimic Cave. Well, good to put that right inside Turtle Rock, so we don't have to worry about that location. But Trinex is going to make the TR dive. Interesting, so we have some decent gambles on both of our on our side. Trinex following a logic while GGG is not.
Oh no, I'm used to running siege with these two and something being deep into T-Rock. And looks like Trinex is following the something awful meta there.
And there's a heart container for GTG. We haven't seen anything of note yet inside Ice Palace. Going to set up this bomb jump here. And good on Trinex to remember to go the proper, you have to do this the vanilla route because you don't have the hook shot. Another hint tile here. Well, it's not. Bet you thought it was going to be some advice.
We'll see another bomb jump from GGG here.
Oh.
The Ice Palace of bomb jumps.
Oh.
It's trademarked.
And no hook shot in hand, so they've got to... That's about their only way to make it through efficiently without key locking themselves. Speaking of keys, that's all we've got in that first room of Turtle Rock. And there's the big key for GTG.
Now, I will say that I'm going to say something nice about these guys. I think they're both very underrated racers in the overall scene. I think with a little bit more just practice overall, these are going to be two forces to reckon with in the next year's worth of LTTP rando.
All right, and while we're making their way through the Ice Palace, let's just give a reminder of what we're doing here. This is the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We are in Week 1, where it's a standard mode seed. We'll be playing their way through the game here. SHGT is representing Team Titans Mitts in the League Hylia division. They are joined on their team by Atium and Dante. while Two Pearl, Two Furious is Trinex's team, and their others are Scary Olive and Ultima. So we should hopefully be seeing a race from some of those other guys later this week.
Oh, Trinex. Missing those fire rod shots, buddy. He had a fantastic chomp room and then just whiffs on a couple fire rod shots.
I can't fault him for them. I mean, he's basically committing genocide when he's going through this. So feels kind of bad, man. I'm picking up a very vanilla big key.
And GTG does have a fairy going in, like Cold Stairs. A lot of people consider that the most difficult boss in the game. Going in with Master Sword, he does have Hammer though, and Fire Rod, so gonna save some time and save some health there. But man, 1 or 2 shots and he is going to die here. But he does have that fairy regen.
And he does have the red mail, so as far as health pool goes, you're feeling decent on Cold Stare. There is a reason that the blue mail comes from this dungeon. Everything hurts.
He did not get hit in that fight at all. Like, very, very nice job, GTG.
I believe he took I believe he got hit by a snowball.
That's silly.
But that sequence break coming up empty except for the crystal.
TR is coming up empty so far. We only have 5 chests left that are visible. Now, Trinix did skip Mimic. We just know there was a piece of heart there thanks to the hint that was at the beginning of T-Rock.
Save a little bit of time. Alright, GTG is making their way to check through the Mire area.
Oh, man, there's the mushroom.
Who wants a fetch quest?
Oh, that's dumb. I love it.
Alright, so we found a fetch quest deep in Turtle Rock as GTG is making their way to the Mire area. So Trinex making their way through the dark maze here. This is probably one of the more easier dark rooms. You just know how it runs. It's not too bad.
I think overall it's like pretty easy, but it's also one of the most like daunting because when you look at it, you're like, oh, how am I ever supposed to remember how this maze works? And then you just pay attention like a couple times while other people are racing, and you figure it out pretty easily.
Like, it could just be an accident. I mean, you could just run it on a timer. It's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, turn, 1, count it out. Trinex probably wants to head down to the refill room, but going ahead with trying to do these bootsless laser skips. One more laser shot sends him to the graveyard, but I think he still got that fairy. There's the key we had to find to get to Trinex.
Oh, Trinex, buddy. Come on. You can do it.
Knows he's got the fairy. Interesting that the death sprite is a key for the Hokubokus.
Those things drop a lot of keys in the game.
And it's just getting bullied by that hard hat beetle. And GTG getting their bow hint. Unfortunately, still not going to have their access to that bow. 1 chest left here in the laser bridge.
Trinex, just use your other cane, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, just blue cane. Alright, so Turtle Rock. Maybe yes, maybe no. It just depends on what's hiding in that mushroom spot. Alright, GTG is back to Kakariko Village.
Oh, he's going to check the pedestal.
Or he's heading to Thieves Town, which hasn't been in yet.
Yes, he's got the red mail.
Oh, okay. They're going south regardless.
Yeah, disappointing me.
He's probably going for that purple chest. Trinex is heading over to the Dark Palace side. Interesting, he doesn't decide to flute it too and just check that mushroom off the list right away.
Oh, what if it's Bo and he does everything here and has to go back?
Because it can't be the bow. The bow's in Misery Mire locked on the Firelock side.
Yeah, but What if it was? Oh, Trinex. Pod seems to be the actual smart play here. It's got 5 items. He can access everything except for 1 in here. A couple of them are still sequence breaky because he doesn't have the lamp. But Pod tends to hold something usually.
Alright, so as we're making the dive into Pod, I'll go over what we're doing here. This is a Link to the Past Randomizer League. The names you see on the bottom are their teams. This is the Lake Hylia division. Trinex represents 2 Pearl, 2 Furious, while SHGG represents Team the Titans Mitts. So what we have here is each of these teams have 2 races per week. A win is 3 points to their standings, a loss is 0, and a tie is 1. So at the end of these 6 weeks, the top 3 teams in each division will advance to the playoffs, with the top seeded team getting a bye through the first week.
GG's going to check the magic bat for us. Oh, Trinex actually can't check the right side unless he does the bottle glitch.
You've woken me from my slumber. I can't believe you. Today I curse thee with the hook shot.
Oh, that is
Have fun checking chests.
That's an unfortunate location for that hook shot.
And now we have the boots require the hammer. I believe that I'm trying to remember where that
Swamp Palace.
I believe so.
GGG immediately makes their way over to Misery Mire to get that bow.
Trying to find that document to confirm. Alright, so here we've got here. Requires the hammer is Ganon's Tower, the 10 left, so it can't be there. Hammer pegs, we've already checked it. Ice Palace, it's not there. The Pod Boss, Spike Cave, Swamp, all but the first 2, and the big chest of Thieves' Town. It could be in that Thieves' Town big chest. And that would feel bad. But it doesn't matter for a GGG because they've got the hook shot and they're making a beeline straight for that bow. And as of right now, that boots that we were looking for may no longer be required unless that big key's on the Ganon's Tower torch.
I hope it's tile room.
We will see how it shakes out when we get there, but we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we still gotta find an ice rod.
We've still got to find an ice rod. We still got to find some flippers. We're an ice rod and flippers from go mode 53 minutes in. Trinex fumbling their way through the dark here. Going and making a map check to see where they're at. Unfortunately for Trinex, we know that this is a little bit of time wasted because that magic powder he's got in his inventory, that's the key to getting his bow. Now, interesting that GGG's routing this the way they are, but I suppose they're looking for the big key instead of just going straight for their bow, because both unique items, I believe, were on the Firelock side.
Yeah, I think it was cash in the bow, piece of heart in the bow.
Something like that. We do know it's the bow, and that's what's important. They still need to find that big key if they want to get themselves to Vitreous. It looks like Trinex is making their way out to the big chest to find just the compass. They're going to save and quit out, and one can only hope that they're heading toward the magic bat. And so far, he's starting out of his house, but see where this goes. Alright, GTG making our first fire lock check here, and that's the map, so they're heading to the cutscene room to pick up their bow. Trinex heading to the Dark World via the Swamp Portal. Let's see where they're heading to next. I guess they don't have the flippers, so they gotta go walk around. Alright, so as that cutscene plays for GTG, Trinex is making their way toward the direction of the Village of Outcasts. Shake, shake, shake your dungeon. And we just get to grumble a bit as we had to go through all this trouble just to get the bow. Now, good question. Where was that shovel hint pointing us to?
Hookshot Cave.
That's right, and we have access to that now on GTG's side. Thanks to that magic bat, and looks like Trinex is heading for that bat. Gonna pick up purple chest too, probably, but they're gonna be happily rewarded with the curse of the hookshot. Coyly be praised as we've got a spring on our hands. And there we've got the bow on GTG's side and the big key. They're heading back to Vitreous.
And then Misery Mire Dark Rooms, some of the more difficult ones in the game. Pretty much just getting this
Getting
Samaria
that block
block
in the
down.
right place. But from what I understand, if you know where the proper X coordinate is, if you throw from all the way at the bottom of the room, it'll land down there. You're just gonna be at the right X. As for the rest of these dark rooms, no thank you. And he's gonna go ahead and make use of that Cane of Burna. Alright, so that's hookshot in hand for Trinex. They're gonna make our first check of the purple chest. We have not found a hint for it yet. If that comes up Ice Rod, suddenly this race is spun around.
He's going to be checking Bombos tablet while he's over there.
Definitely good routing on Trinex's side. Unfortunately, making that dip into pod before going and grabbing that magic bat did come back to bite them yet, but we still have a lot of race left here, folks. Taking inventory of where we're at right now, we are a Flippers and Ice Rod from Go mode at this point. And one can only ask that the thing I often wonder about in these seeds with these runners couldn't care less about a lamp. Where is it?
We don't need them either, but we still are kind of on the lookout for silvers and another sword upgrade.
You definitely don't need them to finish, but you definitely like them. As we praise the gods and receive an offering of a single rupee.
GGG, net buddy, be careful. One heart fighting Vitreous.
Master Sword in the... Trying to get that sword spit on the final eyeball. Now just 8 arrows into the eye to put this one down.
He's only got 5.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Trying to set up the hammer strats there.
Oh, this is tense.
Loses control for a moment, but down goes Vitreous. Well done. That'll run your... I mean, there have been some pretty nerve-wracking boss fights on these, but they've been well executed overall. Alright, Trinex picking up a green potion here, and a blue potion from there. Will we finally see our mushroom turn in? Or did they forget they have it because it's buried under the powder? Did we get them? we didn't see the mushroom turn in, did we?
No, apparently Trinix does not have it marked on their own tracker.
Would be curious to see how that falls out, but that's one of those pitfalls with the inventory system. All he has to do is press Y while hovering that powder to find the mushroom, but I mean, it could be nothing, or it could be the ice rod. You never know. Until we actually get that turn in. And will we see it? We've already freed the chickens, but unfortunately, we do not get a bird toss.
No, Trinix is very serious. Like, he always frees chickens. He never tosses birds. He's a friend to all avians.
Trinix is friends to all birds, while GTG is friends to Pod with the bow in hand. They'll be able to clear through these, the Pod, and finish off Eastern Palace. Though how much of Pod do they want to do here that is the green pendant when we defeat Trinix? Though there are so many checks here to make with the flippers and ice rod, those last two items we're looking for. And he's already knocked out all of Ice Palace out of sequence without the flippers. And looking out on here, I believe our pedestal is very much alive still. It could be holding on to our ice rod.
Yeah, pedestal is never dead if Turtle Rock is a crystal until you find Ice Rod.
And don't you love it, folks? Well, I wonder if GG is just going to go ahead and clear through Pod after we're just making sure you take care of that Helmasaur King with or without it. Gets the nice magic powder on the anti-fairy there. Getting bullied around by the Stalfos heads. Just wants to get that key from the berry. Alright, the red Gorilla dead and off the screen for GTG. They're heading to those Bollock locations, which I don't believe were checked. And we're getting, of course, it's key, because there's a lot of keys in Pod. And
oh boy, Bobby!
The water toes! So this dip of Palace of Darkness coming up big, and with their water shoes in hand, they decided, screw this, I'm out of here. I'm going to finish off Eastern Palace and then take care of Swamp. They've already sequence broken their way through Ice Palace to turn up nothing, but that's a crystal already down. And GTG already having cleared 4 crystals off the map as opposed to Trinex's 2. They'll have their third here momentarily after they pick up their bow here from this Vanilla Big Key location in Misery Mire. Alright, there's the D for Trinex going on back toward Vitreous momentarily as GTG has to re-clear through their way to the Armos Knights. Thus asking, GTG does not have the mushroom as that was in the late roller room in Turtle Rock that Trinex decided to dive. But he has not yet turned in that mushroom despite having just made a recent visit to the potion vendor to pick up some potions. And GTG tired of doing dark rooms lights the torch to make their way through that one.
That's one of the worst rooms in the game to do in the dark. Absolutely miserable. If you clear it, you're going to clear it in like 2 or 3 seconds. If you don't get it in those 2 or 3 seconds, you're probably not going to clear it.
We'll just stumble around and probably want to reset the room. And Trinex is definitely making use of their magic powder, getting these health refills. If only they'd press Y on that slot, and remember they have the mushroom, though we don't know what it's going to be yet. Unfortunately, for that person in chat, we know the boots are locked by the hammer, so it's not going to be on the mushroom slot. And then, blink and you missed it. Down went the Armos Knights on GTG's side. All right, Virtua Cat, where do you think our last item is hiding? That infamous ice rod that can be anywhere.
So here's what I hope. I hope it's either the mushroom or the pedestal. I think it is probably going to be probably the waterfall room of swamp.
I'm definitely thinking that mushroom seems like the most troll location for it to end up at this juncture. Because the pedestal's always kind of mean, so whatever. And we've already cleared now. For those of you thinking ice rods on Laser Bridge, no. Trinex cleared through all of Turtle Rock, was only rewarded with the mushroom for their trouble. Alright, so we do have that hint that the boots are locked by the hammer, so they could be hiding in the backside of Swamp Palace here. We've also not seen Spike Cave or the Thieves Town Big Chest. We've only seen 3 of those 4 items in there. The version 30 logic, the version 30 introduction of the hint tiles has been an interesting thing. And if you've seen any of the version 31 preview seeds, the hint system's only getting more robust and I think more fun. Trinex going ahead and using their Cane of Burna here to try to take care of these eyeballs. Unfortunately, flubbed it a little bit at the beginning. He wasn't doing full damage the whole time. Alright, now he's taking damage from the slime. He's only down to 3 eyeballs, though. Pretty good. Gotta watch out for that lightning. Alright, down with all the eyes, and he's got plenty of arrows. But he's deciding for Master Sword spins on the Master Sword on the eyeball. Trying to decide why they want to conserve all their arrows so far when there's plenty on the way to Eastern. Alright, and down goes the eyeball for Trinex. Just rewarded with that small key, and their 3rd crystal compared to the 5 that GTG has, and they're on their way to 6 right now. And they're on the hunt for where in the name of Furore, Din, and Nehru is that gall darn ice rod.
I mean, if we want to be a little mean, big chest swamp, but the big key is like in the very back of swamp. Like they have to go back. And Trinex does look to see he may be heading over and checking out those arrow lock locations over on the side of Pod.
So they'll have access to their water shoes momentarily, I would imagine. Then they'll probably clear through Eastern Palace to find nothing else, and that leaves them with quite a few choices. They still have to take care of Ice Palace, which they'll have logical access to after they finding that Flippers, which GGG already decided to do via the sequence break. Looking at what's left for Ice Rod to be, we still have these checks here in Swamp Palace. More of Desert pending the Boots find, the Green Pendant location. Spike Cave.
Yeah, Spike Cave's there. We just found the Fire Shield in Swamp Palace. So here's the waterfall room. This is where I said the ice rod is going to be. And close. I got a bug net.
Just as good, I think.
Only really usable against one boss. Same as the ice rod.
We do know that the Hookshot Cave has the shovel. So, I mean, it could be in there, under the shovel. But if you're thinking Trinex, you wonder, maybe that ice rod's sitting on that mushroom and Maybe it's coming back to, but maybe it'll come back to bring him up ahead. But only time will tell here. We have yet to see the silver arrows.
Or another sword upgrade. It's been just a slow seed for these two. No silvers, only just recently getting the bow, master sword, no boots. They got the mirror early, which allowed a little bit of quick exiting, but overall it's been kind of a slow seed.
Alright, and down goes the Argus fight for GGG, a well-executed spin strats there as they get just 3 bombs. I'll admit I have not been counting items. I think we probably need to go left side, though. We'll find out in a moment as Trinex seems to have lost a hold of the quick kill here. But GTG is either abandoning the left side of Swamp, or I didn't count.
Saying, see you later, left side of the swamp. You ever see anybody say goodbye to the left side of the swamp before?
I'll admit I have not. They are going to go ahead and pray to the goddesses and receive their single rupee for their penance. Trinex is heading into the Palace of Darkness now. Will soon have their water shoes in hand as they head into the Bowlock side. And GGG is taking flight. They're up the mountain. Are they thinking the Turtle Rock dive?
I mean, that makes sense. They also have the hook shot, so there's hookshot cave.
Yeah, go ahead and make that hookshot cave check. I don't remember if they cleared all of Pod except for the boss. I think they stopped at the water shoes, and I don't think they made it to the back, though. Trinex cleared the back to find it having nothing, except we did not see the boss, which Trinex could decide to do. Grab the green pendant and then turn it in right away. I definitely would not see doing Helmsor King here a bad play, considering how close they are to the green pendant check-in.
You saw Trinex do a quick little stutter step. He wasn't quite sure what to do there.
But he's deciding he's out. So no Helmsor King defeat on either side. And I do believe if we're counting, GFE chat pointing out that he has a hammer-locked item left, which could be our boots. Wouldn't that be something if the boots are on the Helmsor King and in Eastern and Desert Palace is where our ice rod is hiding?
That would be so wacky.
Randomizer will randomizer time to time. All right, GTG heading into the hookshot cave. We do know we are going to find the shovels somewhere in here, but what else are we hiding? There's our lamp. Sayonara Darkness. There's our 10 sticks and the final check.
Shovel.
For chivalry.
So if GGG does head on into T-Rock, then that gives Trinex a good amount of time to try to catch up here. He's still got to do Ice, he's still got to do Swamp to catch up to GGG. GGG is going to spend a decent amount of time going through this Turtle Rock with not much to show for it at the end, aside from a mushroom.
Which we have had ability to check, though. Trinex may be forgetting they have it behind their magic powder. See how that goes. It may be quite a while before we see that mushroom turn in on Trinex's side, but we'll see if GTG follows that breadcrumb. Interesting to note that they could preserve their if they do things properly, they could preserve their mirror portal if, say, the mushroom leads to Ice Rod. So looking over here, what do we have left to check for the Ice Rod here? We have the mushroom spot, the back of Thieves Town, Spike Cave. What else we got?
There's not a ton. There is not a ton out there left.
Unless, of course, we find our boots somewhere.
GGG missed the shot there.
Just going. I think they may decide to reset the room entirely.
Just fall off there, fail the Momo challenge, and come back in.
We do know that the Pyramid Fairy does not have any of our required items via a hint tile earlier. Alright, so Trinex heading back into the backside of Swamp Palace. GGG getting their 2 keys. Although I admit, I don't think anyone has checked Pyramid or Catfish at this juncture. So that's 2 more overworld checks that could be holding onto our Ice Rod yet. And then we have not seen hide nor hair of the Silvers. We do know that the boots are out there hammerlocked somewhere. It's not in Swamp Palace at all. That could be our... Wouldn't that be something to have that be our 4th unique item in Thieves Town in the big chest? The Quake Medallion was on the Ether tablet. So both tablets have been checked. No one can kill Trinex yet, though GTG, if that mushroom is Ice Rod, they could preserve their portal potentially if they immediately follow that Ice Rod breadcrumb. Or that mushroom breadcrumb. Trinex having fun with the water Tektites here. Probably one of the most annoying enemies in the game, in my opinion, is you can't hit them from anywhere in that room. Alright, making their way, picking up the big key on GTG side. Trinex is going ahead and taking care of their Argus fight here. Having not as clean as GTG's execution on this one, but still hanging in there pretty well. Opting for the grab to swipe strat as opposed to the spin strats. Alright, GGG burning down the Hoku Bokus there. Making their way through Turtle Rock. We know that the Mimic Cave is nothing via the hint tile that's just right inside Turtle Rock, conveniently enough. The hookshot was on the magic bat. And we did have access to that powder pretty early. I believe that was in Skull Woods.
Yeah, that powder was, actually, they went a good, 20 minutes without using that powder.
Alright, Trinex is out of Swamp Palace now. Must have been counting items, so the left side is indeed dead. It looks like Trinex is heading into Ice Palace now. Definitely can't blame them for the play. Go ahead and take care of their crystal, and that'll catch them up in crystals to GTG. There's our mushroom, and GTG shows it a piece of his mind. The Trinex is also going to take care of these flipper locations that he chose not to sequence break earlier, like GTG did. Goes ahead and grabs that magic refill here. Trinex heading up to the king of all scams will be rewarded with a 10% cash back bonus on their 500 rupee investment. For those who love the pedestal, that is definitely one of the locations that could be hiding are the fabled rod that is ice. As we're running through some recursive checks, please give these guys a follow on Twitch if you have not already do so. This has been a tightly contested race, and we're down to a single item to swing the race either direction. Show them a little bit of love and support. Alright, that's the end of Laser Bridge for GTG. Trinex is back on the mountain, but grabbing their flutes. They're going somewhere. The only question is, where? Trinex with the flute to 8. They didn't actually clear Ice Palace. Alright, folks, here we go. Get your mushroom hypes in chat. What's the going price for drugs today, which Trinex could have had access to quite a while ago? Turns it in and leaves?
I'm just gonna go check the shovel, then flute back over there.
I suppose you're right. Make use of their shovel and go back, because they have to reset it anyway. All right, Steel Dice Shovels. What is hanging out in the shovel location today? It's just 20 bucks. Hit Y, flip it to the flute, and let's go see what those witches have been holding down on us for so long this seed. And it's just 5 bucks!
Oh, I saw the blue and I was about to be laughing very hard.
Shrooms are rather inexpensive in Hyrule these days. Alright, so, so taking that location out of there, what have we got left to be holding onto our ice rod here? We've got Pedestal, we've got 1 check left in Thieves Town, and we've got Helmasaur King. And Spike Cave. And a few of those are hammerlocked locations I mentioned, which we did get the hint of the boots being in a hammerlocked location earlier. Trinex clearing their way through Ice Palace, now setting up one of their many bomb jumps. They'll have to do a few less than GTG did, as they have access to the hookshot this time around. So overall, be a quicker Ice Palace, but it will come up just as dry. It looks like GTG is heading up towards Spike Cave now. That's the only location I can see GTG going to, though I don't think they checked Ether Tablet yet either, so they're going to check that one first as well, only to receive their useless Quake Medallion.
Now, has the tablet glitch been fixed yet?
Yes, that definitely has been fixed.
Cool.
Just so happened that no tablets had progression on the seed, but one of the last races I called definitely had a tablet with progression, as they fixed the issue with swords, only one sword being a progression. Searching those bushes for a fairy, not being rewarded with one, so they're going to have to burn through their magic pool here. Yep, so now Quake Tablet is definitely a thing in this game. So we're making our way through Spike Cave, one of our hammerlock locations that could be holding on to our boots right now. And boots are locking quite a little bit of the game here.
I mean, there's Bonk Rocks, there's King's Tomb.
There's Desert Palace, and that's silvers. I mean, it's not what you're looking for, but you're not complaining either. I will happily take Argentum arrows for that dive as opposed to something else.
crazy. They were named after Dario Argento, who made some classic Italian horror movies.
Interesting. I do love me some horror movies. Alright, making our way into the Dark World via portal number 5, and we get an excellent spin clip from Trinex there. Well done in Ice Palace, one of the more recent techniques found. Definitely love seeing that new tech being discovered still as we near 30 years since the release of The Link to the Past. Just insane that here we are still finding clips. Or tricks. I would hope somebody clipped that one, because that is just a sight to behold. Now, have you seen one of the other recent tricks found, the Virtua Cat? Where you no longer need the bow for Ganon's Tower?
I have not seen that yet, no.
There's a way for you to manipulate the Guria in such a way where they will walk themselves off the screen. Also one of the one of my favorite new completely non-repeatable tricks. Somebody found a way to use Mold Arm 2 to bonk you across the ledge in Ganon's Tower. The setup for it is just, it's never going to happen again, but...
So you can glitch them in every room?
Yes.
Mimics? Okay.
But it's, like I said, that's an interesting one, and of course that completely non-repeatable Mold Arm trick. Was an interesting clip to watch. Alright, so GTG is heading back into Pod. They're going to check out, they have not done the backside of this, and they may be our first runner to take down the Helmasaur King. Trinex is taking care of Cold Stare. They're back in the water. They're going to go ahead and check out the Hobo location. Alright, so GTG is making their way through the Dark Maze. We know there's nothing here. Trinex picking up their nothing from the Hobo. Ice Rod, where art thou, Ice Rod?
I'm amending my guess to King's Tomb.
Oh, Ice Rod, where art thou? And it looks like, yes, Trinex has remembered that they have the mushroom. Unfortunately, not going to be what they want. It's not going to come up Ice Rod, so...
I guarantee he's saying a little prayer to himself right now.
Say a little prayer for ice.
I love Sugar Ray.
Takes a little bit of a stutter step as he sees those 5 rupees, picks up a green potion, leaves, and GTG is heading back toward the Helmasaur King. One of our other hammerlocked locations that I think that could be holding the boots. The only one I believe that we have not, only other ones we have not seen so far as requires the hammer would be in Ganon's Tower, and of course, to be the troll of all trolls, the Thieves' Town Big Chest with 1 item left to be found in Thieves' Town.
And we still haven't checked either Pyramid Ledge or Catfish yet. And man, the minute that one of them either of them finds an Ice Rod at one of those 2 locations, they're going to immediately think that they have lost the game.
But only to know that they may have just won it. Trinex is heading back up the mountain here. I believe they're going to check out their hookshot cave now. Alright, GGG heading back to the Helmasaur King, one of our remaining boots lock our hammerlock location for the hint system. Alright, so he is into... Interesting that Trinex has decided to go for the hookshot clip as opposed to just deleting the blocks with the mirror. Alright. Time to hammer out our differences with the king of all Helmasaurs here. 17 cracks at that mask with the hammer will open it up. Trinex clearing their way through Hookshot Cave will get their lamp and their shovel. And that was an interesting little setup there. Setup there, getting a spin while firing off that silver arrow to put down the Helmsleur King. And there, what are those? We have boots 1 hour and 30 minutes in. With the green pendant in hand, we have some checks to make to find the ice rod.
Yeah, we got Bonkrox, we got King's Tomb, we got Desert. So yeah, we are. Hopefully, the ice rod is in one of those for GTG's sake. For Trinex's sake, he is hoping that is on pedestal.
And GTG is giving some love there. Definitely not the fastest way to set these things up.
This is the weirdest Momo challenge I've ever seen.
I mean, that is the highest damage enemy he is going to find in the area, but with red mail, it takes 12 ever. But I think he's attempting to maintain his mirror portal. Is the only reason I can see this happening. Because if one of these boots locked locations has the... If one of these boots lock locations has the ice rod, I believe his mirror portal is still alive.
Yeah, and you can just hop down there and he'll be right at the Oh, and there it is!
Burn the witch!
Tomb!
Alright, 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 40 seconds in. We've got go mode, folks. Virtua Cat, we will see you at the stake at the town square at the end of this race.
To be fair, I only had like 15 locations it could have been.
Oh, true, true. Alright, GTG heading up the mountain. I believe their mirror portal is saved, and that puts them in a commanding lead as... I mean, we still gotta see Trinex make their way to the Helmsleur King, and they're not heading in that direction currently.
Yeah, Trinex is looking at a triple dip of pod. And so that's not a fun phrase of words to say. Just a heads up play by GTG there.
Alright, so we're gonna head on over to just directly to Trinex. Making our way up to the Trinex fight. Shouldn't be too long, and we're gonna see Ganon's Tower, and we finally see a Pyramid Ledge check. 1 hour 30 in. Alright, so as we're getting toward the end of our Trinex fight, that's our final crystal, and do you know what that means, Virtua Cat?
I mean, that's going to start the key game, but we got to see if Trinex is going to go down here.
Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and start this now. Get your guesses in chat, folks. If you're a supporter of speed gaming, any number between 1 and 22 could be the location of the big key. We do have the bot access for the Link to the Past Randomizer League. So get your guesses in chats, folks. That's half magic from there, and we're heading into Ganon's Tower.
GTG putting the proverbial final fork in Trinex. And also taking out the boss of Turtle Rock.
Alright, so, Virtua Cat, what's your prediction?
Stalfos room top right.
So, what's that?
I don't know what number it is. Probably usually around like the 6-ish, 7-ish. But I'm saying Stalfos room top right.
I'm always a fan of the number 17, but The crystals are spinning, folks. Get your guesses in. We're almost out of time.
Trinex is making his way back over to Pod. Looks like he is going to be picking up those boots from Helmosaur, most likely.
Last chance to get those guesses in to get yourself onto the leaderboard for the Link to the Past Randomizer League. The game stops now. Where are we going?
Oh, GG going left side first.
Check
Baller
number
play.
1 is just 10 arrows. Making their way through room 2, they're going to head up to your Stelphos room.
Chest number 2. The bottom left is a small key. Chest number 3 is 50 rupees. Chest number 4, 3 bombs. And chest number 5,
Small key.
Dark Magician route, folks. We are seeing the dream.
And it is named so for a runner named Dark Magician who just does this route. And that's 6 and 7 coming up with keys. Trinex finally on their way to the Helmosaur King. They're going to be rewarded with their boots. They're going to hit to... They have a lot of walking between them and Ganon's Tower. Definitely a good display of game knowledge by SAGTG to preserve that mirror portal for as long as they did. Did you know that is actually mentioned in the manual?
Oh, man. No. I was that kid that never read the manual.
I never actually owned the game as a kid. In fact, only played it through emulators. So that's 8 and 9, 20 rupees. Number 10, the Magic Cape. And number 11, 3 bombs. We're going on.
I'll be seeing the left side here.
Meanwhile, Trinex is going to hammer out their differences with the King of all Helmosaurs and find that he's been eating boots this entire seed. Being able to preserve your mirror portal through a save and quit is mentioned in the manual. For those asking in chat, and that's another check, number 12, coming up with a big 20. And that's the green pendant and the boots for Trinex. He's gonna feel a little frustrated as now he's gonna get to the King's Tomb. What about Bob? I'm making our way across. We're on to number 13 here in just a moment. And that's the mirror shield. And we find out that Sahasrara has 10 sticks for the troubles of the green.
Trinex is not a happy camper at the moment. And it's time for the rando room. I'm going to open up this little passageway here. Piece of heart. Map. Tempered sword. And bombs.
All right, that's 17 there. 16 from Tempered Sword. Definitely love seeing that. I mean, SAGTG has a pretty nice little Ganon fight ahead of them. They got all the hearts, red mail, Tempered Sword, and is Trinex making a pedestal check on the left side?
Yes.
So what does the pedestal have for us today to not be what Trinex is looking for? Just couch cash, move along.
Tile room. Tile room. Tile room. That's probably Bob's room.
Goodbye, Bob. And that's butter.
Man, 2 sword upgrades in GT. That is
That's rude.
So they just wanted this to be a very slow seed.
Alright, well, and now we have a silver Armos on ice! And well done on GTG side. 3 more checks here. 19, the big key. We're out of Ice Armos, folks, and I want to congratulate R.D. Walsh for being the first summer supporter for getting the correct answer of 19. We'll go ahead and get you on the leaderboard for the Link to the Past Randomizer League, and you're the only one up there. Good job, R.D. Walsh. You are heading in. We've got the first step on the leaderboard, and we've got lots of races here, folks. So if you want to keep locked to the Speed Gaming network of channels and see more Link to the Past Randomizer League, you can find your way on that leaderboard and earn all the internet points, as Trinex is making their way over to King's Tomb in just a moment. But they're going to go ahead and check the Mirror Ledge, Graveyard Ledge, which I don't think has been checked.
Yeah, it won't be anything aside from heart pieces or expendable items or rupees at this point. We have every item in the game, it looks like. Bottles. There are some bottles.
Oh, yes. We only had 2 bottles up until this point.
Good gauntlet by GGG.
Oh, absolutely. Putting on a masterclass of execution here on his way up the tower. Get almost a victory lap as it will be. Though he still has to make his way up the tower, though I'd imagine it'd have to be quite a few Ganon falls to take this race out of GTG's hands, or barring the knock on wood, a catastrophic failure of equipment. Not that I would ever wish that upon anyone. Please don't say that. As Dead Rocks being Dead Rocks on Trinex side.
I think the fall 2017 or spring 2017 tournament actually had I think it was Andy had power failure in the middle of a match, rebooted his PC and was able to come back and win.
Dead Rock's bodyguarding Trinex from meeting Trinex, and he's just as GGG walks through fire like it's not even there.
Refilling his mana there, and this room always just scares me. I always feel like I'm going to mess it up real bad.
Oh, that was one of the worst. That's definitely one of the rooms that plagues my mind. Like, please don't screw this up. And again, I am definitely all talk, so. But I'm glad to be able to share the love of this game with all of you out there. Definitely keep it locked in. Keep your eyes on speedgaming.org/schedule to see more of the Link to Past Randomizer League, as well as the daily races and the many tournaments that are coming up in April with Overworld Glitches and the Spoiler Tournament coming up. So Butter Sword, Silver Arrows, Red Mail, 14 Hearts. GGG's feeling good again. But first, we have a Geometry Chest to take.
Sine, cosine, sine, 3.14159. And it is time to take Aga down triple right off the bat.
I may have been a double due to iframes. It's really hard to... It'll be hard to tell. So it's 2 or 301. That's either 5 or 4. And that was a triple to end it, so that's the end of Aghanim for us, and the king of all bacon is loose, running amok in Hyrule. He's heading for the Pyramid of Power, and as is SAGTG, he's got a Ganon fight between him and Victory in this race. And victory for his team, the Titans Mitts, here in this highly a division match.
Ready to take on the big pig, the boss hog, the top cop himself, Ganon.
Hey Smokey, this is Ben, and it's time to find out what Ganon has to say for us today. Or else you will die. But with butter sword in hand, with all the things you could ever ask for, I don't think it's going to take us too long to put Ganon to the death. Here we are into phase 2, if he'd ever hold still. Excuse me, phase 3. Ganon. Ganon. There you go. Thanks. Meanwhile, Trinex is off to face his rival. Alright, and that's the end of phase 3. Did we find the arrows in the dark world? You bet we did, Ganon. Here, have one. No torch glitch for GTG, but I don't think they're worried about it too much, as there's a double.
Trinex going on a next versus next battle here.
Alright, and get your GGs in chat, folk. That is the end of Ganon. Just the fanfare and a 1-by-3 between SAGGG and victory for his team, the Titans Mitts. And I am happy to announce that that SAGG has indeed finished his race in first place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 9 seconds. GGs to them.
We'll see if we can get SAGTG in here to have a chat. And here he is. Congratulations, Nep.
Thanks. That was I felt so behind.
You could definitely not be blamed for feeling behind with just as to where that freaking ice rod was set.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a sensible play. I feel like once those flippers come out in pod, I could see clearing the other stuff, but just to go all the way to Helmasaur with that boot hand being what it was, it didn't feel like a good call. At that point, I felt like I was doing okay, so I didn't even think about it.
I mean, it was I think a word that was used to describe this entire scene was just kind of just slow in general. Silvers are up at Spike Cave. You had boots on Helma, which was the last thing that pretty much both you and Trinex got. No sword upgrades except for Master Sword until GT. Yeah, was there any time that you felt like you were in the lead at any point?
I was feeling pretty good about the early game. I was a little worried about the whole decision not to go to Zora's Domain with the fake flipper early, like I usually do. But then Agina had the Moon Pearl, and I thought, okay, I can put that check off and route it a little more efficiently. So that felt like a nice little buy of time.
It was interesting how that Moon Pearl being in Agina, despite deciding to follow the sequence break up the mountain, which, I mean, technically cost you time, but it just came down to who found those boots first, unfortunately. So
yeah, I had so many locations to check in so many sparse areas that I was thinking boots require the hammer. I want the ice rod to be behind the boots, so I'm just gonna bet on the last hammer place.
Interesting enough, there was another hammer location left, as you both of you decided to orphan the back of Thieves Town, but there's no guarantee the keys even fall in the way where that is a hammer locked location. According to
yeah, you're right. That's a good point. That could have been bad for me if it had been there, but
it would have been bad for both of you.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess it's a wash. That.
Absolutely, and I was. Go ahead, Virtua.
I was gonna say, I know that you and Trinex, you are very familiar with each other. Was there any particular preparation that you did for this race?
I did 50 reps lifting the ice rod.
It definitely seems like a good call for this seed.
Yeah, for a real answer, I don't really feel like I did anything too special. I know that sometimes Trinex likes to get a little tricky with his plays, so I was looking for a good spot to maybe get ahead, and that's why I did that early mountain sequence break. A couple other things I did, just a few of the skips and locations I left behind, like not checking the pyramid ever or catfish or anything like that. I was just hoping that if he did some sort of mix up on me, I could catch up quickly.
Yeah, I feel like
we ever
Trinex
saw
is
catfish.
just. I think Trinex is just kind of a risky player in general, and that works out for him an inordinate amount of times. Sometimes knowing him, but you pulled it out this time. Congrats.
I was bemused by your displeasure in finding the mushroom in Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah, that was super upsetting. It's just, here you go, guess again.
But what makes it more entertaining is Trinex did make a very early dive of Turtle Rock, got that mushroom, and didn't turn it in until you were walking towards Ganon's tower. Despite having almost immediately visited for potions.
That's interesting. There are a couple of the other skips that I did. After finding Hookshot, I wanted to just go ahead and get going right away. So I skipped the purple chest. I was thinking, if Ice Rod is in the purple chest, I'm just going to be kicking myself, and my team's going to be kicking me.
Yeah, he was doing Turtle Rock at the same time you were doing Ice Palace, which is also just an incredibly early play for that.
I really like to dive Ice Palace early if I can, just because of all those hints. And this time, the hints really didn't do much for me except save me going and getting the red bomb.
Trinex, calling out that Trinex did just accidentally orphan Bob's chest.
I almost did that too. I feel like he and I have both been playing a bit of NMG lately and occasionally just taking shots at it. And that muscle memory, it kicks in.
Yeah, that was the gold sword too. I mean, I just gotta say that I was having a lot of fun watching you search over and over and over for just one item. Vindication is, I believe, the best way to say it.
Yeah, so that was one that you already answered one of the questions I was going to ask you, and that was the decision to sequence break Ice Palace. Just prioritizing the hints. It's nice to see the go, and look at, we have a little bit of a showcase on Trinex's side as he's walking mimics off the screen.
That's pretty funny. I like it a lot. I've never seen that in action myself.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of a showcase after he's probably, at this point, he's already seen the dot done in SRL.
Yeah, he also showed us
I just discovered recently.
shows the spin clip in Ice Palace as well for the stairs.
Another great recent trick find. All right, so how do you feel coming into the start of the Randomizer League there at GTG?
It is nice to start on a win. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to strategize for week 2. I might be benched for that week, so I'm just going to be practicing in general, and we'll probably feel that out from there.
And as I remember, week 2 is open randomized swords normal defeat Ganon.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the team that we're up against, but I know they're a really tough team. I believe they have both Korek and Gem, and I'm not picking up on the third name, but it's just overall.
That is Team 4K Fourth Forehead, Ack the Boker, Gem, and Korek.
Yeah, all 3 of them are just really, really good, so it's this feeling of, who are we going to put in? What approach are we going to take? We're going to have some discussion about that one, I know for sure.
It is interesting to hear a little bit of just the behind the scenes of the decision making that goes into this new league format, which I find really interesting. Having to play 2 of your players each week, see like who does best in these modes or who does best into the weekly matchups. Definitely good to see you start off with a win for your Titans Mitts.
Yeah, definitely relieved. Trinex is just really good, and he has a pretty high win rate against me when we race each other, so I was not sure whether I'd pull it off tonight.
Well, definitely GG's to you. Excited going into what your team holds for the future. Nice to see you start off for the win. What do you think of this, just the league format in general, just getting started?
I like the idea of it quite a lot. It's really interesting because it does kind of influence stuff in just little ways when you play. I find myself thinking, I don't want to make a play that's too bizarre, and if it doesn't work out, then I've kind of let down my team. Whereas if it was just a normal 1v1 with no other considerations, I wouldn't have to think about that as much.
No, absolutely. It adds an extra wrinkle of thinking where I'm not just costing myself if something doesn't work out. It could cost my entire team to advance further on. And we do know that the top 3 finishing teams in each division will move on to the playoffs, with the top seed winning a bye for that first round. So definitely every race and every win is important. But just 2 races per week and 6 weeks to play through. So while we've got you here, what's coming up on your docket there, GTG?
When it comes to after this, I'm just probably going to go cook some dinner. Nothing too exciting. But when it comes to the tournament, the league. Sorry, I'll be thinking about mostly our approach to the co-op. We need to have some discussion about that in particular. I'm not very experienced with co-op style play.
And that'll be week 4, and that'll be definitely something that'll be fun to watch. As Trinex has finished Moldorm 2, and they're heading up toward Agatu. Definitely just a seed where last location seemed to be the name of the game.
Yeah, the seed really did seem like it was just trying to set the player up for that. Even things like maybe making an early pod dive, potion glitching, you still would have had to come back because of the bows and mires, so just how do you make those calls? They're rough.
And definitely, but shout outs to the hint system for letting us know that bow's in the mire in that mire location, so we're not hunting for that on top of it. Just a little bit of peace of mind. It's like, okay, I know where that is. Now I have to get access to it. That access coming via the magic bat. Definitely a location you not often checked. I'm kind of left forward dead, but to find that powder early really leaned towards something potentially being there, as Trinex is going to go ahead and drop into the King of All Bacon fight here. Feel free to hang out if you wish, GG. I'm going to turn the focus into this Ganon fight for Trinex to put the end of this race. And they did skip the Butter Sword, so they have a little less damage to work with here, as that was in Bob's chest. But setting up the spins quite nicely now that he got him in the corner. Now it's just a matter of time before he moves on to the next phase. Has to be careful to not get eaten by the fire bats here. He's down to a single heart. He's going to go ahead and grab his cape.
The smart play by Trinex there. This is not where you want to die.
I definitely want to avoid those fire bats. Now it's just a matter of, Ganon, will you freaking hold still, please? But now he goes ahead and grabs that blue potion so we can just take care of this fight. All right, and there's the final swing of Phase 4 for Trinex here. Did we find the silvers in Dark World? You bet. Gets the double there. There's the final arrow. The Fanfare sends the sword to the sky. The Fanfare plays. Trinex is just a 1x3 bridge between him and the end of this race. Get your GGs out there in chat if you're still hanging out with us. I sure hope you are. That was a great race, and I can say that he has finished in second place in the SRL time of 2 hours and 31 seconds.
GG to Trinex _. See if we can get him in here to have a chat with us.
All right, so Virtual Cat, as we wait to find out, what did you think of this seed overall?
I thought I liked the seed. It was a little trolly at times. I know that GGG didn't make the seed because he's in the race, but it felt like a GGG seed. And it looks like we have now been joined in the chat by Trinex. GG's to you.
And GG to you. And G to you, GTG. That was a kind of a hell of a seed.
Yeah, it really was. Good game to you as well.
All the G's there. I got a little lost in that sea of G's. So
I don't even know where to begin with that. It's sort of like I think I made the right choice between Agina versus Zora, but then I had to go back there anyway, so it doesn't matter a huge amount. But
how badly were you praying when you were going to turn in that mushroom?
a decent amount, because I skipped it the first time. I went to Meyer to open it, and I was just short of magic, so my main focus was getting magic first. I completely forgot about the fact that I didn't turn in the mushroom at the time.
I was curious about that visit to pick up potions, but not turn in the mushroom.
Yeah, I was just kind of singularly focused and kind of pissed off on the fact that I didn't have enough magic.
It's definitely understandable. You just get maybe a small moment of tilt that leaves something the wrong direction, but it's just one of those seeds where it comes down to where in Din Furor and Nehru's name is that freaking ice rod.
Well, I mean, after I grabbed the flippers, it was already my second dip in pod, and it's just like I really debated wanting to go back there, but it's like it's still dark down the basement, so let's skip it. And then we're just basically just never going to go back.
And there's one thing I failed to mention during the race is that when we were in pod, we're still stumbling through the dark because no one had been to the hookshot cave yet to find that lamp. But I wanted to commend you on the display of new tech you put on for us today. And let's start out with that Ice Palace spin clip, and then going ahead and pushing some Guria out of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, the spin clip is actually the only quick way I know how to do that room. It's like I never learned how to do the sword or hammer strat, so since that was brand new, spanking new, that's the way I kind of do that room in general.
I mean, it's definitely cool to watch.
After I already saw the dot done after I was finishing Turtle Rock, it's like basically there's no point not trying to do the mimic clip.
The first room went out pretty well. The second room gave you a little bit of hassle, but looked like in chat you're mentioning it just didn't seem like your controller wanted to cooperate for it.
Yeah, my start button was getting sticky, so every time I was getting to the pause menu, it was not quite releasing. So
I noticed you using the select menu to frame buffer it.
Yep. I've gotten it faster, but hey, if it needs to be done during a race, I'll be prepared even if it takes a while.
It's definitely an interesting. It's definitely interesting to see how that may pan out for the rest for like randomizer races in general. Instead of there being the hover winning the race, being able to clip Guria out to skip Bo. I mean, there's a really small subset of seeds where that's even possible.
Yeah, I think it's going to come up so infrequently that it's almost not even going to be a thing. The first time I was in pod, I actually was considering doing it, but not really sure on its full legality yet, so I decided to just kind of bail out.
That's something where I will have to mention to the tournament organizers. I'm curious to see how that one falls into randomizer. It is considered a minor glitch for the NMG run, but where does it fall in rando? These things we'll have to find out.
Yeah, I think I didn't go to pod the first time until after I used my magic potion for something. I forget what it was. Basically was out.
All right, so looking forward in the league, how do you? So that puts a loss for your team, but how do you think? Do you think you'll be in for week 2 in your matchup?
It's hard to say just yet. I mean, we're kind of just playing it by ear. We'll see what's up. Basically, as schedules line up. So, but I'm around for most of it. But try to get some scary Olive in next week at least, since he's taking a rest.
Yep, and you will be on facing Immortals next week with Duke Firebird, Final Flame, and Roach 788.
Yeah, sure will be a fun matchup at least. Mainly because of the fact I didn't realize this was standard to start with. I was kind of expecting open, so I was, this is unexpected.
Speaking of standard mode, how about that Cane of Burnus on your uncle hint?
Yeah. I was actually more angry that the key rat was running away from me as my magic ran out.
Oh, I forgot about that entirely so long ago.
And then I had to use all my bombs to catch it, and then I had to come back later to find nothing in the back there.
Aside from all the money, which is all this seed had early was money.
Exactly.
How about shout outs to Saucer Hollow with 600 some odd rupees in his closet?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that in this seed, Sahasrarad may have been running some kind of money laundering operation.
Well, definitely. I mean, or perhaps that's where perhaps he's in cahoots with Kiki the Monkey, and that's where that money's been going.
That's where Ted DiBiase went to retire.
There's always a price for $1 Million Man. All right, but with that, I think we should probably turn ours toward the end of this broadcast here. But GG's to the both of you, and I can't wait to see more of this Link to the Past Randomizer League in the future. Any last comments before we send it away?
Not for me. Just want to thank you guys for doing the whole streaming commentary, and just congrats again, you win, GGG.
And thanks again. It was definitely a good match. I'm looking forward to going back and watching it. And I want to also thank everybody who worked to make this restream happen.
All right.
Although I have one quick comment, if I can get it on stream here, is that as I'm watching the restream, you got to add the team logos to this.
I believe that's in the works.
Okay.
I remember seeing the chat of that somewhere.
I just want to say I appreciate you guys freeing those chickens. Heart grew 3 sizes there.
You gotta let them go. They need to be free.
I'm shocked you didn't take the powder back to Kakariko and free the lady as well.
I always tell people about those chickens. I'll do it no matter what seed it is. Even if it's like an Randomizer seed and I'm on 1 heart being chased by soldiers, I'll still pick up that.
Free the chickens, indeed. All right, looking forward on the schedule here. Just one thing left on Speed Gaming tonight, and that's on the main channel. Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly Race, Vanilla Item Locations, Second Quest Overworld, and Shapes Dungeons. Looks to be interesting. Looking forward to the future. Channels have not been decided, but we have 2 Link to the Past Randomizer League matches tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. We have GFE and 1UP and Swagalicious and Sir Link-A-Lot 777, as well as some more of the Francophone tournament. Link to the Past Randomizer / Super Metroid combo, as well as some German tournament, Kirby's Dream Land, and the Zelda 1 push for sub 33rd. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it looks interesting. If you have not already done so, give these runners a follow for putting themselves out there and having a lot of fun. Go ahead and give out a follow to my friend Virtua Cat for hanging out with us, as well as our tracker Swagalicious. Don't be afraid to give a follow if you happen to be a speaker of one of like Spanish, French, German, or Portuguese. We have channels just for those in Speed Gaming, as well as looking forward to. Make sure you give a follow to Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as like ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTPR Randomizer 2 through 5. There's lots of action coming up on Speed Gaming. It's a light week so far, but imagine a lot more is going to get pushed onto the schedule And with that, I am Bungie to the tree. Virtua Cat, what you got?
Y'all have a great night now, you hear?
Good night and good rando.